Don't be scared. It'll all be over soon.
Prepare to grip the edge of your seat with Netflix's top 10 horror thrillers. From relentless suspense to shocking twists, these chilling picks blur the line between fear and adrenaline. Number 10, Kristy.
We're already here, Kristy.
A quiet Thanksgiving break becomes a blood-soaked nightmare when Justine, a college student left alone on campus, is hunted by a masked cult with one chilling mission: eliminate those they label Kristy. What begins as a strange encounter at a gas station spirals into a brutal game of survival as Justine is stalked through empty dorms, darkened stairwells, and forgotten buildings where help is nowhere in sight. The attackers move with eerie coordination, broadcasting their cruelty like a ritual, leaving her to navigate a maze of violence where silence is a trap and every shadow could mean death. As the night deepens, the line between predator and prey begins to blur in terrifying fashion. Kristy is a sleek, relentless survival horror film directed by Oliver Blackburn that turns a deserted campus into a hunting ground where isolation is weaponized and mercy is nowhere to be found. Number 9, Paradise.
Und wir wollten zusammen alt werden.
Wir kriegen das hinter das.
Das lässt sich umkehren.
A crushing debt forces Elena to surrender 40 years of her life to a sinister biotech corporation, only to have her husband Max grapple with the horrifying truth and fight back to reclaim what was stolen. When he discovers that someone else has become the beneficiary of her youth, Max is plunged into a heartless world where time itself is currency, and human lives are collateral in the pursuit of profit. The corporation's glossy promises crack under the weight of moral collapse, showing how desperation bends integrity and how trust can be weaponized by cold, clinical ambition. Each ticking moment underscores a nightmare reality where love and sacrifice are measured not in years lived, but in years taken. Number 8, Colors of Evil Red.
You belong to him now.
Are you aware he's a very dangerous man?
Were there any differences in the murders?
When a young woman's mutilated body washes ashore in Poland's Tricity region, a rookie prosecutor named Leopold Bilski and the victim's stoic mother, Judge Helena Boguka, are drawn into a twisting investigation that reaches deep into the region's criminal underbelly. What begins as a search for a simple murderer blooms into a web of trafficking, corruption, and familial betrayal, where nightclub secrets and dark alliances shroud the truth in blood and lies. Every revelation that a courtroom hides more than justice, that grief can be weaponized, that allegiance may betray flesh and bone, pushes the hunt further into a moral abyss. Colors of Evil is a taut Polish crime thriller directed by Adrian Panik, whose precise framing turns seaside sorrow into a chilling manhunt for truth. Number 7, Nowhere. Alone inside a waterlogged shipping container drifting across a merciless sea, a pregnant Mia must summon every scrap of her strength and the few salvaged trappings of civilization to fight for survival when a totalitarian government tears her family apart. What begins as an escape plan morphs into a harrowing odyssey. As the container fills with water, every Tupperware, TV screen shard, and bottle of vodka becomes a lifeline. Mia navigates physical agony, terrifying isolation, and rising water while battling grief over her lost child and the promise of a future slipping through her fingers. With ingenuity born of desperation, she uses a drill and penknife to claw her way toward freedom, birthing a new life amid chaos. Number 6, Shimmer Lake.
Shoot you in the face! Destroy it! Smash it! Smash it! Bam! Smash it!
A small-town sheriff watches his world spin backwards when he sets out to unravel a bank robbery, only to discover that the suspects include his own brother and 2 former friends. As each day rewinds, revealing fractured alliances, betrayal, and the fallout from a meth lab disaster and a fractured family, the film builds a puzzle where timing is everything and every fragment reshapes the truth. Viewers piece together shifting motives, greed, vengeance, loyalty, twisted by grief. As revelations fall into place in reverse chronology, the humor flickers in moments of grim absurdity, like whispered partner jabs mid-crime, or the echo of past mistakes rewinding toward their trigger. Number 5, It's What's Inside.
What did you do?
It is us against them.
Oh my...
Right?
Yeah.
What begins as a seemingly harmless pre-wedding reunion among college friends spirals into unsettling chaos when Forbes arrives with a mysterious suitcase and a device that turns their identities into a swappable game of mirrors. As the group succumbs to body-switching madness, each inhabiting someone else's shell, long-buried secrets and rivalries emerge with peculiar intensity, fusing paranoia with dark humor. Every whispered betrayal and shifting gaze becomes a distorted reflection, revealing who's truly harboring guilt, envy, or a burning hunger for what lies beneath. As alliances fracture and perceptions shatter, the playful experiment detours into existential territory, where masks peel away and the facade of self collapses beneath the weight of shared bodies. Number 4, Creep.
You need to get out of that house right now.
What starts as a too-good-to-be-true gig, recording a man for a day in a remote cabin for $1,000, descends into a nightmare of escalating unease as Aaron, the videographer, realizes that his client Joseph is far more unnerving than he first appears. At first, Joseph's odd manner and oversharing feel awkward, then each strange reveal, the wolf mask, the invasive confessions, the inexplicable gifts, unravels Aaron's world until the camera becomes a lifeline between survival and surrender. Every crack in Joseph's facade exposes a predator behind the fragile human mask, turning curiosity into terror with whisper-soft menace and mounting psychological tension. Creep is a masterfully sparse found-footage psychological horror that turns minimalism into a claustrophobic hunt. Number 3, Loving Adults.
Close fucking like this too.
A seemingly stable family life fractures when Leonora uncovers Christian's affair and leverages his guilt with deadly intent. If he won't leave her lover, she'll expose his embezzlement to ruin him. What starts as manipulation spirals into a violent chess game of secrets, blackmail, and retribution, where devotion blurs into vengeance, and every revealed betrayal deepens the stakes. Leonora's quiet fury and Christian's desperation collide in a relentless escalation. Lies become weapons and marriage becomes a battlefield where survival means outwitting the one you love. Loving Adults is a chilling domestic thriller rooted in marital collapse. Number 2, Eye for an Eye.
It's just, we think we can control everything, but in the end, we're nothing.
An aging drug lord released from prison due to failing health is sent to an assisted living facility, where the head nurse, Mario, quietly harbors a devastating connection to the boss's past. As hostility simmers beneath polite routines and medications, the lines between caregiver and avenger begin to sharpen into a single, cold resolution. Every caring gesture, every whispered reassurance veils a deliberate strategy, a slow burn vendetta poised to erupt when the time is right. The narrative holds you in a vice of empathy and foreboding, watching ordinary moments become instruments of retribution. Eye for an Eye is a gripping revenge thriller soaked in quiet tension. Number 1, Primal Fear.
I speak, you do not speak. Your job is just to sit there and look innocent.
Well, I am innocent.
A high-profile defense attorney, Martin Vale, sees a sensational case in a young altar boy accused of murdering a Catholic archbishop, contorting prestige into a public performance. What begins as a high-stakes courtroom drama spirals into a psychological labyrinth of hidden identities, institutional corruption, and dark secrets buried beneath the surface of pious facades. Tension crackles in the quiet pauses. The trembling testimony, the gleam of doubt in a judge's eye, the flicker of something unfamiliar behind youthful innocence. As the trial unfolds, every shred of evidence mutates, truth becomes malleable, and trust fractures under the weight of shocking revelations. Primal Fear is a riveting legal thriller masterpiece powered by a breakthrough performance from Edward Norton. Here are 4 other movies you have to see. La Nuée. A financially struggling widowed mother runs a locust farm in rural France, but discovers that the insects multiply and thrive only when fed blood. As her obsession grows, and she supplies the swarm from her own body, the line between survival and horror blurs, threatening her family. Piercing. Reed plots the perfect murder by arranging to kill a prostitute in a hotel room. under the guise of protecting his child from his own horrifying impulses. But his carefully rehearsed plan unravels when Jackie, the woman he hires, reveals her own disturbing tendencies, plunging both into a deadly psychological game, The Tortured. Devastated by the abduction and murder of their only child, a grieving couple discovers the court sentence for the killer is far too lenient. Consumed by vengeance, they orchestrate their own brutal form of justice, only to find that their revenge may have been misplaced. Meander. Lisa wakes in a mysterious labyrinth of narrow, trap-filled tunnels with a glowing wrist device counting down to death. Forced to crawl through sequences of lethal obstacles, fire, acid, blades, she fights for every breath while visions of her lost daughter haunt her steps.